Good morning. It's Monday morning. Yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Um, yeah, I went to a car show in a little town called Cape Real. There's about, had to be at least, I don't know, 250, maybe 300 cars there. It was pretty good. Good turnout. Anyway, I had a blast doing that. And because it was Father's Day, I took the day off. So I did get the chassis finished painted. And now it's time to assemble suspension parts and get them on the frame. So we're going to start with the rear axle. I've got to take the axle seals out, assemble the spring packs, get the center section in, get the axles in, get it all together, and get it under the car. So yeah, let's just get to it, man. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put our new axle seals in. I've already taken the one out of the other side. And I'll show you a slick little trick. I'm not going to take credit for it. It was my buddy's idea. Just take a ratchet and drop it in the tube. And yeah. Pick it up. Can't get two of my fat little fingers in there, so use a magnet. Come on. There we go. Put a vice grip on it. And beat it out with a hammer. And there it is. So I'm going to clean this all up really good, and we'll get our new seals in. I'm just going to tap it in using a socket. And yeah, then we're ready to put our center section in. So it just started and screwed already. The old ones I pulled out are, turns out there's 4 different sizes of these seals. These ones are 2.378 outside diameter. The new ones that I bought off my chum are 2.25. So basically 2 1/4, 2 3/8. So couldn't find any local. Called all over the place. So I went online, found a set, and I'm hoping they're going to be here in a couple of days. So I'll leave this for now, and I'm going to go ahead, get my center section in, and put the leaf packs together. And you know, when the seals come in, well, I'll slap them in and put the axles in. So I'll go as far as I can on this, and then I guess we'll get on to the front. So that's where I am. Can't help it, man. You know, I found them at Rock Auto. They're like $6 a piece, but they want 30 to ship the pair, and then you got to factor in exchange. So it'd be like $65. That's crazy for 2 axle seals. It's bad enough I'm paying $10 a piece and $20 for shipping, but it's a Canadian company, so no exchange, so it's going to be $40. What do you do? I mean, it's just the same old story over and over again. Everything is going up like crazy. So that's where we're at. So I'll just carry on with the center section. Okay, so I'm ready to put this thing together. There's a gasket. $30 for a gasket. Incredible. Anyway, one of the most important things you can do when you're mating 2 surfaces like this, you want to seal up, clean the surface really, really good. You know, should look like that. Shiny, shiny. Both pieces. Clean them all up. So what I used for that is it's actually called a surface prep kit on my little air angle grinder. So yeah, does a good job. The gasket is marked here. I can barely see it. It's kind of stamped in there. Top, front. So, this is the front facing out, and this is the top, because the spring pads are on the bottom. So, I like to put some gasket maker sealant all on the surface, put my gasket on, put some more on top of the gasket, sandwich it in, and done. I only use Permatex. It's the only one that's never failed, and it's a little more expensive, but it's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, seal this up, and get ready to drop that center section in. Okay, so I got my sealant on. You can see it go all the way around the studs, so should be good seal. I'll just drop my gasket on there. Like so. And then I'll put the sealant on again and we'll drop it in. Okay, so she's in. These are all just snugged down. I'm going to go around, torque them. I like to go opposite, like you would a rim or anything else. And you can see how it's kind of oozed out of there. That's good. That's what you want. Before I paint this, I'm going to let that set up really good. I'll scrape off the excess because paint doesn't stick to it. And yeah, give it a shot of the red. I've got to clean all this crap up anyway. But yeah, so that's as far as I can go in this thing until my axle seals come in. So I'll torque them down, and I guess I'll get on those spring packs. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I did a bunch of running around yesterday. I went and looked at a truck. That turned out to be junk and a waste of my time. But anyway, I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. Managed to get one spring pack together. And I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, we're going to carry on, get the other spring together, get the bushings in and all that stuff. And then we're going to do some touch-up paint. And I'll show you real quick. I'll just grab the camera. We're supposed to be getting into a heat wave today, starting today. Supposed to go up to like 39 degrees or something, which is like, burst into flames kind of temperatures. Anyway, yeah, so all I did was I used that carpenter's clamp and put the leaves together, lined them up. I put a screwdriver in the center hole, clamped it down, and then pulled the screwdriver out, put my bolt in, and threaded it. That's a grade 8 fine thread bolt, so make sure you use that. You don't want this thing letting go. And then for the straps, these were originally riveted on. I welded them on and then just, beat them down with a hammer and fold them up underneath. So simple. Anyway, I'll finish these up. I started putting a bushing on that spring, so I'll show you how easy that goes in. So I just got it started, a couple of taps, and just using my little body hammer. I don't want to smash the hell out of the bushing too much. Done. Simple as that. Okay, well, so it finally happened. I got dinged. I was cutting a bolt with my little air cutting tool, and the disc flew apart, and this little piece here is what's left of it. It's the only piece I could find. That's the one that hit me right here under the chin. Pretty good gash. Bled well. Anyway, I ran in the house and bled into the sink, put some pressure on it, stopped the bleeding. My daughter's a little freaked out. She was cleaning all the blood up behind me. But my own stupidity. These discs are maximum 13,300 RPM, and this tool goes 18,000 RPM. So I'm looking over the thing like a dummy with my face right there, and I accidentally pressed the button in to switch all the way. So it got full air pressure, full RPMs, disc flew apart instantly. So my fix was to put this little air regulator on there so that I can adjust the air pressure and keep the RPMs down so it doesn't happen again. And I just got to learn to keep my face away from what I'm cutting. Just a dumb mistake, but you never know. Now, I probably could use a couple stitches, but I'm not sitting in the emergency room for 8 to 10 hours waiting to get 3 or 4 stitches. So last time I think it was almost 12 hours by the time I got out of there. So not doing it. So anyway, be careful and don't be a dumbass like me. Okay, so after a small bleeding break, here's my setup I was talking about. Clamp it, screwdriver. Now I'll just put the bolt in the hole and tighten her up and make it look just like the other one. So yeah, there you go. Okay, so both spring packs are done. That's that one, that's this one. So just a little bit of touch-up paint wherever I marked them up and put those straps on. But before I go ahead and paint, I might as well paint everything at the same time, which means I'm going to clean off the center section of my diff, and I'm going to swap out the ball joints on the control arms for the front suspension because I want to paint them and the springs as well. So I got to change the ball joints. I've done 3 already, and man, it's so quick and slick. I haven't used these Mopar ball joints before, but they're great. So I'll show you that real quick, how we're going to change one. Okay, so to get these out, they do have a special socket and or a special wrench to fit this. It's an oddball size, 1 in 59/64 or some damn thing. But I asked all my buddies if they had one or whatever, and most of them said pipe wrench. So pipe wrench it is. Unscrew it. I've never used these Mopar ball joints before, but I think they're slick as hell. There's the old one. Clean the crap off here. And the new one. And that's it. Ball joint changed. How easy is that? Good morning. Wednesday morning. It's about 8 a.m. I spent most of my evening cleaning and painting components for the suspension. So I've got parts all over the place. Paint's still a little soft, so I'm going to put it out in the sun. It's already like 75 degrees out and supposed to get up to like 90. So in the sun, that should bake on there pretty quick. So while I'm waiting for that stuff to dry, I'm going to go ahead and put my engine, a mock-up engine, into the frame because I need the weight to assemble that front suspension. So yeah, might as well just get right to it. Okay, so the upper and lower control arms are in. I left them kind of, these are slotted for adjustment, so I left them kind of in the middle. I know these things are going to pieces are going to get banged around and whatever, marked up. But I'll touch up, paint everything after. I want to get the bolts and all that stuff anyway. But this is where I need the weight of the engine. So we're going to put the coil spring in. Top of the spring goes up here in the cup, bottom down here on here. And then you jack it up with the floor jack. And the weight is what keeps it from the whole frame from coming up, and will actually compress that coil spring so that I can get my spindle on. Of course, the spindle goes onto both ball joints, like so. And then we'll bring it up here and hook it onto the top one. So, yeah, we'll just use the jack and get her up there. So, a couple things. You'll see that, when you look at this thing straight on the bottom one, this side is angled out and this side is straight. That's how you could tell which one was left and right, because if you had the angle at the front coming out this way, it would interfere with where your rack and pinion steering mounts. So yeah, that's how you can tell the left from the right. And then this little flange here, this little funky looking thing right here, if you can see that I believe gets welded to the cross member. So like I said, we'll have to clean some paint off and weld her up and then touch up the paint. But other than that, not bad. So yeah, gonna have to lower this down. You get the floor jack underneath, coil spring in place. We'll secure the coil spring with a hunk of chain or something, and jack it up and put the spindle in place. Okay, a couple things. So yeah, I've got a chain going through the spring and wrapped around and bolted up back here. So that way there, if the spring does happen to kick out, it's not going to go far and kill me. You can't mess around with these things. They could rip you up pretty bad. Anyway, and on the bottom ball joint, for whatever reason, did a little bit of homework. It requires a spacer. So just a heavy thick washer is all it is. So I'm going to put that on and attach my spindle, and then we'll start jacking it up and go nice and easy. And hopefully that engine is enough weight, because it's stripped down. So I'm hoping it's enough weight to keep it down and compress that spring. So we'll see. Okay, so everything went pretty good. I just got to put the cotter pins in at each castle nut, and yeah, these things are ready to grease up and good to go. I just realized I did not order the front shocks for this thing, so I'll have to get on that. But that I can just slide them in from underneath, no big deal. But so yeah, I'll just do the same thing on the other side, and then we're ready to put our brakes and stuff on. So I'm quite pleased. So it's still under load here. There we go. So good to go. Okay, so front suspension is done, and in the next video we'll get on putting the brakes on. Hopefully my axle seals will be in soon. I got a call from the company I ordered them from yesterday afternoon. The girl says we only have the one seal. The other one will be 4 to 6 weeks. Well, who carries one axle seal? I mean, who changes just one axle seal? You do them in pairs. So canceled the order. Ended up doing the Rock Auto thing, and I'm hoping they're going to be. They've already been shipped, so I'm hoping they're going to be here like Friday. But we'll see. So when I get those, I can put the axles and the rear end in and under the truck. So after that, I guess it's engine building time, and get on putting that together and cleaned up and painted and all that stuff, and get in the hole with the transmission, and we'll have a rolling, almost complete chassis. Just brake lines and e-brake cable and that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing. We'll be ready to get on hammering away on the body. So we're moving right along. It's not bad. Seemed to be stale there for a while, but it's coming along. Today was a real scorcher. So You know, you might have noticed halfway through the time lapse, I went and switched into shorts and sandals. I was friggin' dying, man. And you know, everything went pretty good except for that one little mishap. And you know, my bad. I should have put a regulator on that thing from the day I got it. But you know, figured I was Joe Cool, and you know, I can handle the trigger and control the air with my thumb. Yeah, well, that's what happens. So don't be a dumbass like me. You know, find out what the disc will take as far as RPMs and what your machine is turning. So match them up. You know, you don't want to get hurt. New subscribers, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You know, doing a good job. Tell your buddies, tell your chums, spread the word. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, and don't be afraid to leave comments down below. You know, I'm sure I'll get a couple about the disc thing, but yeah, all good. Supposed to stay hot for the rest of the week, but you know, I'm like an old lizard. I like the heat, so it doesn't bother me much as long as I'm you know, not out right in the direct sun. I'm good. In here, it's not too bad. It gets a little humid. That's about it. But yeah, so that's about it. So if you're not doing anything else, get out in the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.